We will tell them the action we took. We won't simply tell them how we felt. We will tell them what we did, and we will be proud to do that.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Kamala Harris was awesome.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
I'm sure you prepared for this hearing today, and most of the questions that have been presented to you were predictable.
I want to add, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I'm
speaking.
For this list, we're looking at this American Vice President-elect's best moments throughout her career and life so far. Did you learn anything new about VP Kamala Harris? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, when she went viral for her questioning style.
As appropriate, I will supply the committee with documents.
Can you please tell me what you mean when you say appropriate?
In 2017, Senator Harris joined the Senate Intelligence Committee for the investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 elections. During the hearings, the questioning technique she used to get information from former Attorney General Jeff Sessions made headlines.
Sir, I'm sure you prepared for this hearing today, and most of the questions that have been presented to you were predictable.
Harris seemingly had no time for his rambling and used a series of quick-fire questions to get past the nonsense and straight to the point. However, it turns out that Sessions doesn't thrive under pressure, and he accused her of making him, quote, nervous.
And I'm not able to be rushed this fast. It makes me nervous.
As always in politics, her methods proved to be divisive, but many still appreciated how she commanded the room, even when others tried to interject.
So the majority of questions that have been asked
should be allowed
of you.
to answer the question.
Senators will allow the chair to control the hearing. Senator Harris, let him answer.
Please do.
Number 9, when she created Open Justice.
So we are here to talk about a new initiative of your California Department of Justice, which we have named Open Justice.
During Harris's extensive criminal justice career, she's taken some positions that have been perceived as controversial.
You've defended California's death penalty, and as California's Attorney General, your office opposed the release of nonviolent prisoners and violated the constitutional rights of various drug defendants.
But an initiative she introduced as California's Attorney General established a system that many would agree with. Harris launched Open Justice, a system that provided the public access to a plethora of criminal justice data. This included injuries and fatal occurrences that took place while suspects were in police custody. Harris wanted full transparency on these issues to ensure that the police could be held accountable when necessary. The database could also be used to recognize and call out racial bias. Although Harris's relationship with law enforcement had been rocky in the past, this new initiative was welcomed by both police and reform advocates alike.
And I think California, with this initiative, is showing real leadership around what we can do to improve this conversation.
Number 8, when she became Mamala. While the world will soon be calling her Vice President Harris, a select few people will always call her Mamala. After marrying her husband Doug, she became the stepmother to his 2 children, Ella and Cole.
And I cannot wait for America to get to know my husband Doug and our amazing kids Cole and Ella.
They decided that rather than calling her stepmom, they preferred the much more affectionate title Mamala. Harris has called her stepchildren a, quote, endless source of love and pure joy, and clearly shares a special bond with them both. After spending a lifetime racking up career accomplishments, it looks like Harris can also add becoming Mamala to her 2 wonderful stepkids to her fulfilling resume.
I've had a lot of titles over my career, and certainly Vice President will be great. But Mamala will always be the one that means the most.
Number 7, when she became an author.
My name is Kamala Harris, and I am the author of the new children's book, Superheroes Are Everywhere.
During her thriving political career, Harris has published 3 books. In 2009, she released Smart on Crime, a non-fiction book detailing her vision for the criminal justice system.
Well, first of all, as a career prosecutor, I can tell you that there is no question in my mind or in anyone's mind. Serious and violent crime, lock them up.
A decade later, she released her memoirs, The Truths We Hold, which was adapted into a young reader's edition for younger readership.
We will tell them the action we took. We won't simply tell them how we felt. We will tell them what we did, and we will be proud to do that.
That same year, she also released a children's book called Superheroes Are Everywhere, which teaches kids to recognize and internalize the qualities that make someone a hero. So, if you want to learn more about the Vice President-elect in her own words, you've got several places to look.
You're a hero by being the very best you. Now that's pretty super. There we go.
Number 6, when she called Joe Biden about the 2020 elections. Throughout 2020, our good news usually came in the form of finding out that we beat our former record for daily steps. But for Kamala Harris, her biggest piece of good news arrived when it was announced that she was likely to become the next vice president-elect.
CNN projects Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States.
The clip of Harris calling Biden to say,
We did it, Joe. You're gonna be the next president of the United States.
went viral as the pair celebrated their victory over the phone. She couldn't help but laugh in delight. Harris's victory marked the start of a new era in America and launched a series of firsts for women and women of color. After sharing the video on Twitter, she reminded her followers that this is just the beginning for the Biden-Harris administration. Number 5, when she staged a protest at the age of 13. Although she was born in Oakland, California, Harris moved to Montreal, Canada with her mother and sister in her preteens.
So this is a picture of me in my mother's lab.
She attended school there from 7th grade until she graduated high school. Harris's old friend and classmate Wanda Kagan said the vice president-elect has, quote, always been a fighter, even from those early days, and that she was always, quote, sticking up for other people. When Harris was the young age of 13, she and her younger sister Maya wanted to overturn a rule that banned children from playing on the grass. So they staged a successful protest in front of their apartment building. Harris was clearly always destined for a career in politics.
And I saw that Kamala, that she didn't back down when they did that she proceeded to make her point. And it's funny because when I look at her on television today, I still see that character in her.
Number 4, when she supported and officiated same-sex marriage.
We are here today to celebrate this beautiful relationship between Kristen Perry and Sandra Steer.
Kamala Harris has proven herself to be an ally to the LGBTQ+ community. When she was San Francisco's district attorney, she fought hard for marriage equality. And after Harris arrived at City Hall and saw a large crowd of people in the LGBTQ+ community waiting to be married, she was enthusiastic to help.
You must start the marriages immediately.
All right, I will take that as our notice.
That's wonderful, thank you.
In her memoir, she cited this gathering as the moment the, quote, government would finally recognize their right to marry whomever they loved. When a city official asked her to help officiate marriages, she was quickly sworn in and got to work.
The plaintiffs have asked that you would be the person to perform their marriage. And I was like, are you kidding me? Of course.
Sadly, soon after, the marriages were invalidated by the Supreme Court. Fortunately, Harris was able to officiate another same-sex wedding in California in 2013 after Prop 8 was later ruled unconstitutional.
Justice delayed is justice denied. When we are talking about the fight for civil rights and for equality and equal justice under law, we should not have so much patience that we deny people justice.
Number 3, when she told Mike Pence who's talking.
The vice president said, when asked, well, why didn't y'all tell anybody? He said, because the president wanted people to remain calm.
We imagine that most women tuning into the 2020 vice presidential debate were cheering in solidarity with Kamala Harris when she said to Vice President Mike Pence,
Susan, I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Even when she was interrupted, she remained cool, calm, and composed. Harris even smiles while assertively demanding the respect she rightfully deserved. While the phrase probably didn't take off with Pence, it did become the subject of merchandise almost instantly. Ultimately, Harris served a valuable lesson to women everywhere that they should never be afraid of taking up space in the room.
Joe Biden has been very clear. He will not raise taxes on anybody who makes less than $400,000 a year.
He said he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Well, wait.
I'm speaking.
If someone's being disrespectful, you have every right to make yourself heard.
Senator,
that is
that's the math.
absolutely not true.
Is he only going to repeal part of the Trump tax cuts?
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Number 2, when she gave an iconic acceptance speech.
And protecting our democracy takes struggle, it takes sacrifice, but there is joy in it.
Dressed in a white suit as a seeming tribute to suffragists and suffragettes, Kamala Harris honored all the women who, quote, paved the way for this moment. As she was met by cheers, tears, and car horns, the new vice president-elect thanked all the supporters who voted for the, quote, truth.
You ushered in a new day for America.
Harris also paid tribute to the late congressman and civil rights activist John Lewis and her mother. Although her mom sadly didn't live to see this momentous moment, she would undoubtedly be proud. Harris also had an important message for young women and girls watching, saying that, quote,
"But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last."
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. When she made American history.
With this victory, Kamala Harris is set to become the first woman and the first person of color to be the vice president.
Last, but certainly not least, we have to talk about this earth-shattering moment. When the final results of the 2020 elections came in, glass ceilings shattered across the United States. The first woman had been elected as vice president.
And what a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists in our country and select a woman as his vice president.
And since Harris comes from Indian and Jamaican heritage, Kamala Harris is also the first mixed-race woman to be elected to the White House. Meanwhile, her husband Doug Emhoff will be America's first ever second gentleman. While we cannot wait to see the countless women who will follow in her footsteps in the years to come, Kamala Harris will always be the first woman and woman of color in American history to run on a successful presidential ticket.
And the road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready. And so are Joe and I.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.